What's up everybody? Welcome back to another Shop Talk Tuesday. So if you're new to this video series, what this is all about is a commentary based type thing where I talk about your comments, answer your questions, then we go into what we have working in the background that's not going to be making it into the build videos. Then I go into what will be making it into the Friday build videos. Plus I show y'all a viewer's knife if y'all remember to send me a picture of one of y'all's knives. And then we go into a tool that I use in the shop on a daily basis that makes my life easier as a creator. So let's start off with a comment. So we've got one right here. This is going to be from Nick Mills, and he asked, what thickness of liners do I like to use? Or should he ask, what range of thickness and for what application? Now, thank you for that comment slash question, Nick Mills. And we actually had a little discussion happen in the comment section, and I want to clarify some of the things that I do on my knives with G10 and what I'm going to be doing in the future with G10. But let's start off with some of the stuff that was said in that comment section, and that was talking about vulcanized paper liners and G10 liners. So what we have here, two liners. This is G10. You can see how it's reflective. This right here, vulcanized paper. These are going to have pretty much the same application, but there's a few things that I would do with this that I wouldn't do with this, and vice versa. So when it comes to G10, you can take this and you can get it all the way up to 1/2 inch thickness. You can get this stuff to where you can just make handles with it. And in the last Shop Talk Tuesday, I showed David Sizemore's knives. One of his knives, his EDC one, had G10 handle scales with G10 liners. So you can do that if you want and have no wood. So G10 can be utilized for a lot of things. There's also people that make G10 micarta. Basically just layered stacks of G10 epoxied together, and that's their whole entire handle scale. Zero wood. I don't know if I would do that so much with the vulcanized paper, but you probably could. I just wouldn't really suggest it. If you're going to do something like that, use G10. This stuff is amazing. But if you look at it, these are basically both orange G10s or orange liners. So vulcanized and then G10. Perfect little things, and you can get them in multiple thicknesses, but for me, I like to use them just as liners. And I will be doing a handle scale here in the future where I do layer and do a G10 micarta to where you can actually see the multiple layers. I will be having that one coming up probably within the next month or so, but for right now I just like using them for liners, and I use just the standard thickness, and it's just real easy for me. One of the knives that I'm going to be showing in this video today will actually have G10 liners on it, and I'll show them to you. So yeah, that's pretty much what I use it for. I don't really do anything right now where I'm using them as handle scales, but I will be doing that in the future. Hopefully that helps out, and hopefully this kind of gives you a better understanding of the two different liners. I do like this because you can cut this with a nice set of scissors. This I typically have to cut on my bandsaw. You can try and score this stuff and pop it and break it. That does work, but for me, I'd rather just use the bandsaw. It takes seconds to cut this up. But this, you can just cut with a good set of scissors. So it is really nice. But those are what you use them for, the differences between the two. I use both. Y'all should try both. So no matter what, if you're wanting to get into knife making, use all the different materials that you can get your hands on so that you get used to it. One of the big things that I see in like Forged in Fire episodes is they'll get to where they're going to put handles on their knives, and they go over there and they're just looking at the stuff going, well, I think this one's resin, I think this is burl, I think this is Purple Heart, I don't know what it is. They're just grabbing stuff and using it, not realizing that particular handle materials are good for particular knife types, what you're planning on using it for. You wouldn't use a brittle knife handle on something that's going to be batoned into wood. It's just think through and utilize and use as many materials as you can so that you have experience with them. Experience is amazing. This is a big thing for me. The more experience you have doing things in your life, the better you're going to be at doing things in your life. So guys, yeah, definitely try and utilize all kinds of different things and materials. That way you get better with everything. Now, again, Nick, thank you for that comment. And let's go ahead, jump into what we have working in the background that's not going to be making it into a video. Now, with the things that I'm working on in the background, I am trying a bunch of different sheaths. So this is one for this knife right here. Now, when it comes to these sheaths, I'm trying to figure out the way to make them as minimalist as possible. That's always been my thing. Whenever you get leather sheaths, typically, they are very minimal, and you can get really tight onto knives. But if you look at this and this, there is not much difference there in thickness. So, leather sheath, Kydex sheath that I was able to do. So again, I'm just trying to make them as minimalist as possible, and I think that I'm getting pretty good at it. But yeah, that's something that I've been working on in the background. I will eventually do a video dedicated to Kydex sheaths, and I am going to be doing a sheath where one side's Kydex, the other side is leather. So I'm going to do a whole video just dedicated to stuff like that, and hopefully that's something y'all are looking forward to. I know that I've got friends on YouTube that do videos just dedicated to Kydex, like Kyle from Plant Based Outdoors. I've told y'all plenty of times to go check out his channel and his Kydex stuff. I think it's about time that I try and do my own video based on that, and just giving y'all some of the stuff that I've learned along the ways. Maybe it'll help y'all out. But now, the things that I do have coming up in videos, there's going to be a few things. For one, I am actually going to be showing y'all my the way that I make my plunge line jig. So this is a different one. This is the one y'all are going to see in the video. This is better than the one that I use in all of my other videos, and I'm going to show y'all how I made it, where I get the material from, everything to do it, and that should be coming up on this next Friday. So y'all get the the full video on how I made my plunge line jig. This is going to be something that if you're not using a plunge line jig, this is going to make your life so much easier, so much, man, this just makes your knives look crisp, because you can get used to using freehand for your bevels but not mess up your plunge lines. That's one of the hardest things when you go to start freehanding, is getting your plunge lines nice and tight, and this will do that. So that video will be coming out on Friday. Now, the next video I have coming up on the Friday after that is going to be about this knife right here. So this is a really cool little knife that I started doing. I am just absolutely excited about these. It's kind of like my little neck knife that I do, but this is different than that one. And this one has those blue G10 liners on it. I think these turned out great, but I'll be showing y'all how I did this on that video, and y'all be looking forward to that. And then after that one, I've got a video that I've been wanting to do for a while. It's something that my wife and I had talked about, and it is for this knife right here. So this is a spear point. There's actually going to be a full edge on the top, bottom, and then kind of a false edge up here. I'm doing the hole down here. This is going to be a very unique knife. She got the handle scales. I haven't seen them yet, so she's going to be giving them to me whenever I start this knife, and I'm going to show y'all me opening them up and everything. But she picked out the handle scales. She picked out, for the most part, the knife shape. I just made it my style, and but I'm excited about seeing those handle scales. Now that's going to be coming up. That's going to be a really cool knife build, because there's a lot going on, a lot of different bevels, a lot of different things that go into making that knife. So it's going to be a very unique knife. But that's what we have going on that's going to be making it into the videos. Now, there isn't any viewer's knife to talk about on this one. If you want to be a part of the whole viewer's knife section, and I want y'all to do that, so make sure y'all send it to this email right here, theriversexperience@yahoo. So y'all send an email to that right there, showing a picture of your knives, telling me a little bit about it, a little bit about yourself, how you made it, when you started doing this whole knife making adventure, and if you're a YouTuber, put your YouTube in there, or your YouTube channel in there, so that I can link that whenever we're talking about it. And guys, I'm excited about seeing those, whether it's your first knife or your 1500th knife. I don't care, I want to see them. But let's go ahead, hop into the tool that I use in my shop on a daily basis that makes my life easier as a creator. And this one is one that I don't show every single time I'm making a knife, because it's kind of like watching paint dry. But this guy right here, this is my little oven. It's just a little toaster oven. If you're wanting to get into knife making, you're going to have those times when you've got to anneal your knives, and your wives probably won't, or husbands, depending on whether you're male or female, your significant other won't like it if you're trying to anneal your knives in your kitchen oven. There are plenty of people that do it. Kyle, he does it from Plant-Based Outdoors. He uses the kitchen oven for their setup and everything, and if it works, it works. I've lucked out and I got this super cheap Walmart brand. I don't even know what it is. That thing, it works. It does its job. I don't use it just for annealing. Every time I make Kydex sheaths, I cut the Kydex up and I put it in the oven for it to warm up and get flexible. So that is a multi-purpose tool. I have not made any toast in it or anything like that, but I have done a ton of Kydex work with it, a ton of annealing with it, and it is a game changer because you have it out in your shop and you don't have to run and deal with the stuff in the kitchen while you're trying to do stuff in the shop. I can just have things annealing while I'm working on other stuff. But if y'all want to get into knife making and you want to do Kydex, or you want to just be able to anneal your knives in general, pick up one of these. I think this one was like 40 bucks. I'm going to leave a link for it in the description below. So think about getting one of these ovens. Anytime I do any of these little tools in the shop that make my life easier as a creator, I'm not sponsored by any of them. We are not at that point where we have sponsors. So they're all just things that I use, and I think that it would be a benefit to you so that you don't have to do the more complicated stuff. You can do things that are real easy. But guys, that's the end of this one. Thank y'all for coming by. If y'all would, give this video a thumbs up. Share this video, or share a video that I've done in the past that might be your favorite. If you haven't yet, bottom corner, hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell so you get notified of whenever I make stuff like this, stuff like this guy right here, or when I use that thing right there. And guys, that's the end of this one. Y'all have an amazing day. Thank y'all for coming by and checking this out. I'll catch y'all next time.